It begins in silence, a silence so profound it devours sound itself, where time, that relentless warden of all things, halts its inexorable march, and the world, trembling, dares not stir beneath its oppressive weight. Do you feel it, this stillness? It creeps, cold and serpentine, beneath your skin, an unseen spectre pressing against your fragile flesh, insinuating its way into your very soul. The air is thick with a dread unspeakable, and here, in the murk of shadows that shift and writhe, the darkness is no longer content to remain formless. It grows alive, a malevolent thing, teeming with unseen eyes and whispering voices. This place is old, older than recollection, older than grief's first lament. It has endured through epochs long forgotten, its bones buried deep beneath the weight of eons, beneath roots gnarled and twisted by time's cruel hand. But here, in this forsaken soil, something ancient and restless stirs. Listen now to the murmurs that rise from the very ground itself, to the faint sighs of those who never should have spoken again. Their voices, no louder than a breath of wind, seep up through the earth like poison from a wound, calling ever closer, closer still, as though the darkness itself is beckoning you to step into its embrace. Closer, do you not feel it? They were here once, these lost souls, these forsaken ones. They walked among the living with hearts that beat, with eyes that saw the light of day, with hands that reached for the warmth of another. But now they linger. They drift between this world and some nameless terror beyond, hovering on the edge of what was and what should not be. Do you see them, these phantoms of forgotten days? They wait for you, not in hatred, no, but in hunger. A hunger for what they have long since lost, the flicker of warmth that you still carry within you, that they can no longer remember. One by one, they shall rise again, dragging their wretched forms from the embrace of the cold earth, craving a taste of the life that has so cruelly abandoned them. Bone against bone, a hollow clatter like the rattling of chains in the dead of night, fingers brittle and frozen clawing through the earth, fingers that once caressed, now reaching to grasp that which they can never hold. But they are not alone, no. No, there is another that follows, something darker, something that does not belong to the earth, something that does not belong at all. It does not rise from the ground. It descends from the heavens, but it is no angel. And what of the sky? What dread thing stirs the clouds? Look closely, if you dare, for the heavens themselves have turned against you. There are things, terrible things, that have come down from the heights above, not born of divinity, but of the oldest madness. They are watchers, yes, but not benign. No, these beings saw the birth of the first light, and they will see the dying of the last. They bear witness to all that was and all that ever shall be, but their gaze is filled with nothing but hunger. Here, even the houses remember. They remember you. They remember the footsteps of those who came before, the voices of those whose laughter has long since turned to screams. The walls, they whisper your name now, calling you, beckoning you within, with promises sweet and sinister. The doors, they creak open, slow and deliberate, inviting you into their darkened halls. But beware, for once you have crossed that threshold, once you have set foot within, there is no leaving. You will wander forever, lost in corridors that twist and stretch beyond reason, room after room, endless, each more desolate than the last. And as you wander, searching in vain for a way out, the house will know. It will learn your fears, your desires, and it will weave them into its walls, into its floors, into the very air you breathe. It will keep you, for it knows what you seek, and it knows what will trap you here, forever. They are waiting, these lost ones, waiting in the corners, in the shadows that cling to the edges of sight. The forgotten, the forsaken, the abandoned. They do not sleep. They do not rest. They do not relent. They reach out for you, with hands that have long since lost the warmth of flesh, begging, pleading to be remembered. But it is not memory they crave, it is you. They want to share their pain with you, to drag you into the void, to show you what awaits beyond the veil. But beneath it all, beneath the ruin and the rot, beneath the bone and the blood, beneath the very earth itself, something else waits. You felt it, didn't you? That tremor in the air, that subtle quake beneath your feet. You thought it nothing, but you were wrong. It has always been here, long before the dead clawed their way from the ground, long before the first scream shattered the silence of this cursed land. It has waited, patient and still, deep below, where no light has ever dared to tread.
Its hunger knows no bounds. Its silence deafens the soul. It has no voice, yet it speaks to you in your darkest moments. It remembers every soul that has ever fallen into its depths, every cry that has echoed through the void, every heartbeat that has faltered and ceased. And when it stirs, when it finally awakens from its ancient slumber, there will be nothing left. No sky to hold the stars, no earth to bear the weight of the living, no house to shelter the wandering soul. Only the void, the endless, yawning abyss, the end of all things, the end of you. Will you run? Will you scream? Or will you at last surrender to the inevitable? For in this place there is no escape, there is no salvation, there is only the abyss and the whispers that pull you ever deeper. And so it begins again, and so it always begins again.